Good morning. It is Friday, June 2nd, 2023. It is 6:41 a.m. in my locale. Let me move that camera down a little bit. We got the lights good. Experiments are fun. All right. Again, 79 degrees in my locale. It was raining a little bit earlier this morning, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Then again, I got 5 o'clock because me and the big guy got up at about 4 o'clock. Last night when I got home from work, we had leftovers, like I said. But I also took the meat out, sliced it up, cooked it, and put it into the dehydrator. And it ran from about 7 hours, 8 hours. A little longer than I think it should have, even though I made big slices. So now it's like beef jerky chips. They're a little more crunchy than chewy, which I think is kind of cool. So we did pretty good. I think we did about 2 pounds. Now, considering it's only a small handful every day that I eat, with my egg on the way to work, that's going to keep us for a while. And, it's also going to increase the amount of salt in my system, which I have to keep having because, you sweat and you lose salt and you lose electrolytes, and your doctor goes, cut out the salt. Well, if I cut out the salt here, I'm going to have muscle cramps and everything else. Yet again, medicine in 2023, anything they say to do the opposite. That's the most important thing. They are not there to help you. They are there to help them. And remember, when you had to stay at home and they were doing TikTok videos, who were they helping again? Answer that question. Put it down in the comments. Let's go down to our daily Zen poem. The duality lies only in the skill or clumsiness, the honesty or dishonesty of the person. The content of the practices may vary, but what difference is there in the goal it is reached? Hakun, 1685-1769. The duality lies only in the skill or clumsiness, the honesty or dishonesty of the person. So whether it's good or bad depends on you. If you're doing it right, it's you. If it's doing it wrong, it's you. This kind of skirts on the entire concept of personal responsibility, which, unless you are old like me, this is almost non-existent anymore. Everybody's a victim. It's always your fault. Toddler logic. But I like what this guy is saying. How well you're doing or how poorly you're doing depends on you. You can get more information. You can practice more. You can do a couple more push-ups. You can do more sit-ups. You can meditate more, whatever it means. But it's on you, not it's all your fault. I like that. Air conditioning. But what difference is there in the goal that is reached? And the answer to that is, were you doing it so you could say you did it? Kind of that whole, hang on, it's going to take a minute. Virtue signaling nonsense, or are you doing it for your own personal growth, meditation, and education? That's very, very important. That's why I meditate every day. It's not for everybody else, although they benefit. It's for me. Daily room call. Well, you're looking at it backwards. That's Rada. We've pulled that rune before. That's the rune of movement. That's very, very cool. Or rune of journey. Sorry, 123. Okay. About communication, I'm going to just trim this up. Communication, something that has two sides. When you're united, inner worth mounts. It's not time to look outside, but ask what is the right thing to do. How you get there is up to you. Meditation, prayer, go for a walk in the woods, whatever matters. But do that. That whole idea of what is the right thing to do removes the obstructions, and then that trying to make it happen disappears. Yesterday, do without doing. It's all coming back to the same thing. You're trying to gain balance. slimming up the next paragraph. That's very important. And of course, you have to, the universe, God, whatever, is going to be somehow in force in you, is what this is saying. And you have to kind of submit a little bit to what's going on, which I'm not a big fan of. It is a cycle room, unsurprising. Okay, and if it was pulled inverted just for any reason, it's the same thing. It says things might be wrong. We pulled that a couple of days ago. Things might go wrong, might be disruptive, but this reroutes our opportunities. This comes back to what we talked about yesterday, adaptability. Sometimes you got to be the rock, sometimes you got to be the water. Knowing which one is very important. Sometimes you got to drift in the stream, and sometimes you got to paddle upstream. Drift in the stream if it's going in the direction of your goals and the things you need to do. But if it's not doing that, then the dead fish are going downstream. Paddle harder. Get out of there. My running rule is when I see a lot of people doing something, I usually run in the other direction as fast as possible. Or Mark Twain said it. If you find yourself in the majority, it is time to stop and reassess and make sure that you are on the right path. Little book. Nope. Index. Let's see. He does not understand the three armies' military affairs, but directs them in the same way as his civil administration. The officers will thus become confused. He does not understand the three armies' tactical balance of power, but undertakes responsibility for command. Then the officers are doubtful. When the three armies are already confused and doubtful, the danger of the feudal lords taking advantage of the situation will arise. This is referred to as a disordered army drawing another on to victory. Military affairs, but treats them like an office, they get confused. If you don't understand how the balance of tactics work, but you're going to take that, they're doubtful because they don't know your skill set. And then the other one is, if they're already confused and doubtful, well, let's face it, somebody else is going to swamp you. I would say that is a good reason to keep your army as small as possible. You do have skills, you know what you're doing, you know what you don't know, and that's very important, because if you know what you don't know, you know where to start learning, you know where to start growing, you know where to start getting your information. But at the same time, what's the word I'm looking for? Understand what you know, and don't shy from that. That's very important. Don't second guess yourself. You have a lot of skills, you know what you're doing, okay? So let's pull it together. The duality of what you're doing, okay? How you're doing it really depends on you. And the rune says what you're doing is you're trying to get somewhere, but there's also something else beyond you that's kind of moving you along or guiding you. If that's what you want to think, that's fine. And the book says if you are assuming command and you are treating it like an office, the DMV, the whole world's going to be the DMV soon. It's not going to work. People are not going to follow you. If they think you don't know what you're doing, they're also not going to listen to you. Okay, if you don't understand what's happening, then that's fine. And then you're going to be conquered by somebody else. So, get the information. Make sure that your sources of information are good. Get them from where you need to get them. And more importantly than anything else, know what you don't know. Because that's where you learn. And it's okay for a leader to say, I don't have enough information on that. Let's go find out where to get it. That's okay. And now, because the air conditioning is running and somebody is asleep, but did wake up, but is asleep, your obligatory case of you. Can I wake you up? Absolutely nothing to say. No. Fine, you can be that way, you brat. So, we've learned some stuff today. Hopefully this will help guide your day. And, my guidance is work. Yesterday I went to work, there was no first tour, so now I'm moving stuff around between shipping containers. Not really the best use of my time and energy, however, it got done. And then we had a couple tours, only 2. So I only went with 4 people. I went with 2 people, and they were on their honeymoon, and I didn't know whether to buy them flowers because it's a wedding or buy them flowers because it's a funeral. The only difference is the size of the spray and the cost. Okay, that's really all the difference between a wedding and a funeral is. And the other 2 were from, oddly enough, Philadelphia, which means it's another, oh crap, they're following me again. Because I did work in Philadelphia. Anytime I meet people from where I was before or where I've worked before, I get this a really annoying sense of, oh crap, they're hunting me down. And the other one is, oh crap, I'm not far enough out. There's too many people here. So it does unsettle me a little bit. Doesn't stop me from working, doesn't stop me from getting my coffee. It just says pay attention. Because if I start seeing a lot more people from where I come from, the question I have to ask myself is, what are they thinking? Where are their brains? Do they have a moral compass? What are they like-minded? Let's start there. Are they like-minded? Do they share my values? Do they have something to offer? Any answer beyond anything like or no on these 3? Hit it. You're not tried. And so we have to think about that. So when I see people coming out of places that I know are very bad in lifestyle, thought process, anything like that, I am automatically on edge. I'm automatically I may be dealing with an emotional toddler here. I gotta watch out, or they might steal my stuff. You gotta be careful. I meet people from Tennessee. As long as I know they're not from a huge city, I'm at ease. We're having a comfortable conversation. I'm going to try to show you as many critters as I can. I hear Philadelphia, New York, Boston, things like that. I'm automatically on guard. And the reason is because I don't know what your lack of thinking is going to do here today. Is there going to be a made-up problem? Are you going to want attention? And that does happen from time to time. So, better to be on guard than it is to just walk around blindly. You have to know the people that you're dealing with in order to move through that 90 minutes or 120 minutes or your whole day process. But, having said that, it is 6:55. I've already trimmed my beard. I'm going to grab a quick shower. We're going to feed Queso. Work today, 8:30. How that's going to go? Who knows? I just know that I got to get there. And then when I get back, it is time for me to get down to about a half an hour's worth of studying. And I'll probably have more leftovers tonight. So that's pretty darn good. So I hope you have a good day. I hope you take all this information and do something important and powerful with it. You can win. You can succeed. You can get around it. Just remember, what you're doing. If you don't have the information, get it. If you are trying to, move something forward and it's not moving forward as much as you want, think about it. See if you can get a little, not going to say help, because help means you got to owe somebody. Debt is the killer. What you want to do is see if you can get that information to move yourself forward. And then, of course, like I said, if your army is confused, if they don't trust you, you're just ripe for conquer. So, make sure you've got your skills in place. Practice, practice, practice. On that note, I'm going to let you go. And thank you very much. I will see you tomorrow. And Queso is already asleep again. Thanks, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.